quorum. Our public comment policies have changed per the mayor's order. We will actually discuss this in further length as a non-action item later in the agenda. But for folks who have a disability accommodation, when it is time for public comment, you will press *3 or raise your hand and we will address you at that time. Thank you, Commissioner.
Can you move a little closer to the microphone or move the microphone closer to you?
Okay, I was just scared about the echo.
We want to be able to hear you better. There you go.
Okay, let's give this a try.
Motion for the adoption of the agenda. All in favor? Aye, so moved. Now I'm going to add a little bit because before we get to the rest of it, I want everyone here to realize it's a very special day. It's Commissioner Semmel's 102nd birthday. And in honor of her birthday, you are all welcome to sing happy birthday to Rita. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rita. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, everyone. We already did the adoption of the agenda, so now we're doing the motion. Or you said we have to wait till next month to?
Yes, we're going to do the minutes next month.
Then moving on to item 5 on the agenda is our executive director's report, and filling in for Trent Orr, who has home ill, is Dan Kaplan.
Thank you, Commissioner Khan, and thank you, commissioners. Yeah, this is okay. 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 So a relatively quick report for today. In terms of federal update, I think the big news is that we have, as of yesterday, a relatively clean resolution from the House. It'll work its way through the Senate, and it should extend funding for the federal government to 2 dates this time, one in late January and the other at the beginning of February. So that's good news. Obviously, we will go through this drill again as a result of this, but the government will stay open. On the state level, we are in the part of the legislative process where we're really working on next year's legislative agenda and legislative activity and what we will be advocating for. We work, as you know, hand in glove and through the California Welfare Directors Association. I guess one of the biggest areas that we're going to be focusing on this year are services for high needs youth. This has been a theme of the last several years. There's been some progress made. Later in this agenda, we will talk about a local pilot program that's funded by state money that is meant to build greater resources on the local level for high needs youth. But on the legislative level, we're continuing to focus on that. We'll also be focusing on an item that we brought forward last year having to do with allowing undocumented clients in the IHSS program to make use of undocumented providers. As you probably know, there is a provider shortage in the IHSS program. In San Francisco, the IHSS program serves about 25,000 clients. It is, we don't talk about it as such, but it's really the largest social services program, uh, both from the point of view of money and folks served. And I think that it is a DAS managed program, so most of the discussion happens in the DAS Commission. But one of the points I think is worth making about the program is it's designed to help people who need personal assistance services be as independent as possible in their own homes. It is also because of the way the service is delivered in San Francisco and in many, many parts of the state, a family income program. The IHSS workers make a wage now about $20 an hour. Over the next several years, it'll get up to $25.50 an hour. Since many of the providers live with their quote unquote clients, this represents a significant amount of money coming into the household. And I think it's an important anti-poverty program for that reason, as well as a personal assistance services program. Certainly. Thank you, Rita. So we sponsored legislation to support the notion that undocumented clients could hire undocumented providers. Last session, it is going to move forward again this session, and we will be working on that as well. From the point of view of the state budget and state revenues are coming in about as expected at the state level, which at this moment in time feels like relatively good news. But we will be watching that closely as we move forward closer to the legislative session. On the local level, as always, there's a lot going on. I'm just going to mention two things. One is the annual turkey giveaway event. As part of our food programming, we fund the mayor's annual turkey giveaway. This year, the mayor will be distributing turkeys at Hunter Point West and Oakdale Avenue in the Bayview and at 700 Alamany in OMI. So more information on that. And then I just wanted to mention one significant departure from city service over the past month. Ben Rosenfield, our longtime controller, has announced that he will be leaving in February. And we don't normally mark personnel changes at the central level, but Ben has been a great stabilizing force during his time here. And I think we will all miss him. We have yet to find out who is going to be replacing him, and that will be a mayoral nomination that'll go through the board confirmation process. Okay, moving to the agency. I want to touch base on one issue in our communications program over the last week. We were made aware of a misinformation about the CalFresh program that appeared in two newspapers. We don't typically call out misinformation, but this suggested that the program was not going to be available, and we did issue corrections and hopefully have gotten the word out there that there's no disruption in the CalFresh program. It is funded into the next year, and services continue to be absolutely available. The other thing I wanted to mention on the communications front is that our communications team is finalizing the agency annual report, and copies of that should be available to the commission and to others very soon. So as we look at some of the rest of the agency, in budget news, as you probably know, the mayor had requested mid-year reduction proposals from all agencies. This is part of getting ready for what is anticipated to be a significant shortfall in city revenues next fiscal year. And it's an effort to both get through this fiscal year and then start off from a lower place of spending next fiscal year. Um, the request was at the 3% level for HSA. That comes to about $1.6 million of general funds. Our proposal back to the mayor's office involved holding off on implementation of a few new add-back funded programs and realizing an improvement in our IHSS revenue. Every year we go through a process of estimating what revenues will be in all of our different programs. And I guess I should say we're always off, normally not by too much. In this case, the IHSS revenue that was allocated to San Francisco was a little over $1 million better than we had anticipated. And so that made up 2/3 of our submission. But this is going to be an ongoing issue. I think we've certainly seen that that the mayor's budget office and the controller's office that do their forecasting at this type of year to get ready for the budget process are anticipating a significant shortfall. And because of that, we are getting ready to move into a process to figure out how we are going to collectively and individually as agencies manage that. So that will be certainly a great area of focus of ours over the next several months. And just to remind you of timing, here we are in middle November. The mayor will issue official budget instructions during the second week of December, and we will then make a budget proposal by the 21st of February. And so between December and February, we will be making presentations to this commission on what, the more detail about the situation we're in as a city, and then how we propose to move forward from a budgetary point of view. So that is coming up. On an operating level, I think the big event that's happened over the last month is the implementation of the CalSAWS program. We don't typically talk about our computer systems a great deal at this meeting, but CalSAWS is the California State Automated Welfare System. It is the core system for processing welfare benefits. Within our agency, there are about 1,200 workers who use CalSAWS either all day or just some of the time. So it is a central tool within our agency. And in California, we've gone through a process of moving first from 4 systems in the state to 3 systems, and then over the last 5 years, we've been in a process of moving from 3 systems to 1 system. This is at the behest of the federal government, which didn't want to be paying for 4 or 3 state automated welfare systems. So all counties are now on the CalSAWS system. It is being managed by a 58 county
Birthday. Sorry. It's okay.
So we are going to a 58 county system. We are in the last wave of counties that has implemented this system. We implemented on October 30th with San Luis Obispo and Sacramento counties. And all things considered, I think I and the team that is working on this would say it's going well. Well doesn't mean perfectly. And in implementation of this sort, there are always snags, but the team that is leading our implementation, and that's comprised of people from our IT program and from economic support and self-sufficiency, are working through a large list of small issues. But the good news is workers have been trained. They are making use of the system. They are making clients eligible. They are issuing benefits, and we are moving forward and working out hiccups. We've had some long lines in some of our service lobbies. We've had some reports that are problematic. We have a new set of kiosks, which everyone says are going to be great once we get them fully up and running, but we have a way to go on that. So we have things to work through, but I think for those of us who have been involved in this for the last several years, getting ready, I think we would all say this is going very smoothly and certainly as well or better than we had expected. So that's council. As everyone is aware, we have the APEC conference going on right now, snarling the streets to some extent. HSA's involvement is relatively small. We have a team that is leading the mass care part of the city's response for this. If we were lucky, we will never have to activate anything in that area, but we do have a team of staff who are involved in the program from that angle. And DAS is very much involved in working out how to deal with disruptions to the elderly population that is living within the perimeter that is cordoned off. So there are issues of how do people get in and out, how does food get in and out, and so DAS is working very closely with CBOs and with its clients to make sure folks continue to live well during this time. Our Office of DEIB is working on recruitment efforts, and we'll be working on a new set of eligibility worker recruitment events. Eligibility workers are our largest single classification, and we are actually down a good number of eligibility workers now. So the way we recruit is very important, and the DEIB team will be coordinating a number of events in the community so that we can encourage more San Franciscans to apply for those jobs and come on board and work with clients. And then in their role as sort of leading our efforts to support and appreciate diversity within the agency, they will be working on Native American Heritage Month and are planning events for that, and those information on those will be coming out soon. Within the economic support and self-sufficiency programs, I think the most noteworthy thing is that we, the CWDA, the state, keep working on ways of simplifying eligibility processes to the extent that we can through various waivers. So the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services has approved one more federal waiver, and this is a waiver that allows self-attestation of income for renewals, which simplifies the process of allowing folks to renew their Medicaid coverage, which is great, both for the clients. It's easier, it allows people to stay on Medicaid, and for the staff, it's simpler, and it allows us to support more clients. Within FCS, we have Adoption Day coming this Friday, and the observance will take place between 12:15 and 1:30. And then we also wanted to note that within FCS, our FCS Uniform Guaranteed Income Project is now off the ground. And First payments were sent out to enrolled clients at the end of last month, and we are continuing to work with applicants and enrollees to get folks onto the program. And then our CBOs are working with clients on case management and financial literacy and benefits counseling, and our evaluation efforts are underway as well. So that's the highlights for this month.
Thank you very much, Dan. Are there any questions for Dan from members of the commission? Hearing none, we're going to move on to item 6 on the agenda.
Commissioner, we should ask for public comment quickly. If there's any public comment about Dan's report, star 3 or raise your hand. Or if anyone. Okay, now we can move on.
Moving on to item 6.
And I'd also like to make a correction in advance. Number 6 says October Employee of the Month. It's November Employee of the Month. I am so sorry. And Florence Pulte pointed this out to me, my error. And thank you, Florence. And I apologize in advance. It is November Employee of the Month. So please go ahead.
Well, after that apology and everything else that's gone on this morning, you're excused. No problem. Our Employee of the Month for November is Mernisha Coney. And upon meeting her colleagues, Mernisha's colleagues are immediately impressed with their work ethic and commitment to the agency. She always volunteers to take on extra projects. For the past many years, she has been serving as a lead supervisor for the call center. Anytime she is given additional projects to work on, she always puts in 100% and is never at the expense of her team. In addition to her supervisorial duties and being a lead for the call center, Mernisha piloted the Ortega claims processing. Once more supervisors were added to process these increasing claims, Mernisha took the lead role to train and assist the additional supervisors in reviewing these claims. She continues to provide process improvement as policy and system changes occur. During CalSWA's preparation, Mernisha worked closely with the SFBN contact center manager to train staff on a new phone system. She has excellent communication and teamwork skills and makes SFBN a better place. Mernisha is an epitome of what a human service agency employee should be. Thank you for all your work, and I have a gift for you.
No pressure, but if you'd like to say something, usually people really.
I'm a little nervous. I just want to thank you for selecting me as Employee of the Month. It is truly an honor, and I am humbled by this recognition. Upon joining HSA in 2013, I had a supervisor who taught me the value of using my available resources to help provide quality service to the clients that we serve. This mentorship solidified my understanding of eligibility and also laid the foundation for my growth in all the things that I would participate in, the projects that I would participate in since then. Excuse me, nervous. Um, Moving into outreach, I've had the incredible opportunity to work with supervisors such as Jenny, such as Sally, and my outreach team. Actually, one is here, former outreach member Melanie. But in the outreach experience, it taught me, I discovered the significance of partnership and working with different CBOs that will help provide services to individuals who we not see in our building. So it was very transformative for me to have that experience, which also cultivated leadership in me and allowed the opportunity for me to be promoted to an eligibility supervisor. So I want to extend my gratitude to the commission, to the SFBN team, my colleagues, my unit, my friends and family that couldn't be here as well. Thank you for being able to allow me to work along each and every one of you. I see the dedication from each and every one of you that it's an honor to truly work alongside serving our clients each and every day. So I do look forward to continuing this journey. HSA is a remarkable organization, and so thank you again for the honor. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Item 7 on the agenda is our consent calendar. Can I ask for a motion to approve from members of the commission? All in favor? So moved. Item 8, discussion about terminating remote public comment.
Possible that you don't necessarily need a disability accommodation in order to speak remotely for public comment. And I believe we have all decided that moving forward, we would like to just focus on, for folks who do have disability accommodations, to speak remotely. And for everyone else, they can come in person and fill out a public comment card and speak their 3 minutes. So that's just basically what this item is for.
So do we need to vote on this?
No, this is not a voting,
Oh,
this is not an
just-
action item.
Okay, information only. Moving on to item 8 on the agenda is our commission business action items. And calling on Vanita Dunlop.
So Vanetta is actually online. She was not able to be in person today. Bear with me a second with Abhishek.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning, President Khan and Commissioners. My name is Vanetta Dunlap, and I'm a Program Support Analyst with Family and Children Services. And I want to make sure that you can hear me clearly.
We can hear you. Go ahead, Vanetta.
Great. Also joining us today virtually are Alicia Hooten and Erica Collenbeck, both with Seneca Family of Agencies. I'm here today to request approval of a sole source waiver and authorization to enter into a grant agreement with Seneca Family of Agencies for the period of January 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2028 in the amount of $7,285,487 plus a 10% contingency for a total grant amount not to exceed $8,014,036. This is for the provision of a Children's Crisis Continuum pilot program for foster youth experiencing crisis and their families. Let me tell you a little bit about it. In response to the California Department of Social Services request for proposals for the Children's Crisis Continuum pilot program, San Francisco Human Services Agency was awarded $8.5 million to create a comprehensive regional children's continuum of care that will enable foster youth in crisis to receive the critical stabilization and long-term wellness services that they need and deserve close to their homes and their families. As the lead applicant, San Francisco HSA will leverage its strong working relationship with San Francisco Department of Public Health's Behavioral Health Department, as well as other child-serving public agencies in the county and experienced service providers to close the gap between existing services and the multi-tiered treatment and placement settings needed to provide trauma-informed care for system-involved youth located close to home. San Francisco HSA will collaborate closely with child welfare and behavioral health departments from Contra Costa, Marin, Solano, and Sonoma counties to provide an expanded range of services and placements for foster youth in crisis from around the Bay Area. This awarded regional pilot project represents the culmination of years of strategic planning, stakeholder input, regional collaboration, and resource pursuit. San Francisco HSA and our neighboring counties often work together to fill gaps in each other's service array, ensuring supports are available for all regional children. This collaboration is particularly crucial to our local foster youth who often live in neighboring counties outside of San Francisco. Together, these entities will design and implement a continuum that meets all objectives listed in the RFP by 1, closing existing service gaps with comprehensive inpatient, crisis support, and community-based options. 2, providing individualized assessment, stabilization, and ongoing treatment services to foster youth in the least restrictive, most family-based settings possible and as close to home as possible. And 3, implementing continuous data responsive performance improvement. Seneca Family of Agencies was a named service provider in the CCCPP award and therefore is the only provider available to fulfill the requirements of this accepted project proposal. As outlined in the awarded pilot, San Francisco HSA will partner with Seneca to build upon existing less restrictive programs already being offered in San Francisco and throughout the Bay Area, including our wraparound program for coordination of services and in-home intervention, our mobile response team and our family urgent response system for 24/7 on-call support, a 3-bed crisis stabilization unit, the CSU, for youth in immediate crisis, our enhanced short-term residential therapeutic program, which provides intensive residential placement for 1 youth at a time, and about 46 intensive services foster care homes, including 2 enhanced intensive service foster care homes for those foster youth who require more targeted care than traditional resource homes. Together, these programs will provide a strong foundation of services for local foster youth upon which to build a more expansive service continuum. The funding requested through this opportunity will be used to start up a range of additional high-end programs that will support our local dependent youth with complex needs to remain in their communities while getting the crisis services that they need. These programs will include a crisis residential program, the CCRP, representing a total of 4 beds. This programming does not currently exist in San Francisco. We will also develop 4 more enhanced ISFC homes, increasing options for youths experiencing destabilization to receive targeted care in the least restrictive setting possible. Seneca will help design and implement the CCRP in 2 of the 4 new enhanced intensive services foster care homes, which will serve San Francisco youth, children, and non-minor dependents receiving services from FCS or referred by the San Francisco Department of Public Health or San Francisco Juvenile Probation Department. The purpose of this grant is for Seneca to, 1, oversee the CCCPP startup activities and develop, implement, and provide integrated crisis programming that strengthens the continuum of services available to San Francisco County foster youth. 2, provide programming that includes 1 children's crisis residential program that can serve up to 4 youth at a time. And 3, develop and implement 2 enhanced intensive services foster care homes that are equipped to provide services to San Francisco youth in crisis. The Children's Crisis Residential Program will provide specialized crisis stabilization services to those foster youth who are experiencing a mental health crisis in order for them to step down to a lower level of care safely for up to 10 days. While these services will be available to any youth in the county who needs them, the target population for this proposal is foster youth. Most youth who utilize these services are anticipated to be between the ages of 6 and 18. The long-term goal of the CCRP is to teach coping skills to clients and their families within a short period to alleviate the symptoms that contributed to their admission, to assist clients with effectively managing daily stress, and to engage in crisis stabilization to divert and/or reduce future psychiatric hospitalization. The CCRP and the new enhanced ISFC homes are intended to seamlessly integrate with the other continuum programs already available to San Francisco County youth, including wraparound, mobile response, crisis stabilization, and the enhanced STRTP homes previously mentioned. In order to stabilize these youth, minimize placement disruptions, and unnecessary psychiatric hospitalization, to improve safety and improve well-being outcomes. Thank you for your consideration, and at this time, we're happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from members of the commission? Seeing none, can I ask for a motion? Public comment? Can I ask for a motion to approve? All in favor? Aye, so moved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item B, calling on Rosalind Tillery, requesting authorization to enter into a new contract agreement with Cell Ed for the provision of mobile distance learning.
I'm so sorry. But you heard me. The Department of Benefits and Family Support requests authorization to enter a new contract with Cell Ed for the period of December 1, 2023 to June 30, 2025, in an amount of $49,500 plus a 10% contingency for a total amount not to exceed $54,450. The purpose of the contract is to provide a mobile distance learning platform for HSA participants. In July 2020, the California Department of Social Services, CDSS, partnered with Cell Ed to provide education and training to participants through their electronic devices in order to build skills and engage in countable welfare to work participation hours. The CDSS contract with Cell Ed ended on September 30th, 2023. However, CDSS intends to conduct a procurement to continue these services. Once CDSS begins a new contract, HSA plans to leverage the state contract for delivery of these services. The contract is intended to bridge the gap between state contracts. Cell Ed will provide a mobile learning platform, which is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Participants can use any mobile device, including basic cell phones with only texting options, tablets, laptops, desktops, computers, call-in, and WhatsApp. A variety of training courses will be offered, including but not limited to resume writing, interview skills, language learning, reading comprehension, basic math, and workplace skills. Cell Ed will also provide live technical support to assist in learning on the Cell Ed platform weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The goal of the contract is to provide distance learning for up to 1,000 users annually. I'm available to answer any questions you may have. We also have Jennifer Hernandez from Cell Ed available on WebEx and Unitai, Director of CalWorks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosalind. Are there any questions from members of the commission? Seeing none, can I ask for a motion to approve? All in favor? Aye, so moved. Thank you. Is there any general public comment at this time? Hearing none, then our meeting is adjourned. Elizabeth, please. Elizabeth, you did good. Come on.